point slope form, we have the slope and the point x1, y1. So you can use that point slope form to write an equation if you know the slope, which is right here, and the point x1, y1. And all you do is substitute those numbers in. Here's the m. And there you go. In Math Excel, though, you will want to make sure that you simplify subtracting a negative into adding a positive. So you would go y minus 1 equals negative 3/2 x plus 4. That's the first thing you put in when Math Excel is asking for point slope form. And then they'll tell you to simplify and put it in slope intercept form. To do that, you distribute, and you'll get y minus 1 equals negative 3/2 x plus minus 6, because you'll put that in your calculator. Then add 1 to both sides. You get y equals negative 3/2 x minus 5. And there you go. You can also start with 2 points. To do that, you plug those points into the slope formula, change in y all over the change in x. So 5 minus 4 all over negative 4 minus negative 1. Minus negative is plus a positive, so that's the same as negative 4 plus 1. What you end up with is 1 over 3 negative. And that's going to be your m. So now we have a point, x1, y1, and our slope is negative 1/3. Plug these in, you get y minus 4 equals negative 1/3 times x minus negative 1. Once again, simplify that double negative, you get y minus 4 equals negative 1/3 x plus 1. This doesn't ask us to go any further. And there you go. Point slope form right into Math Excel. Now, they will ask you to graph using the intercepts. Do not turn this into slope intercept form, y equals mx plus b, where you graph the intercept and then use the slope. If you don't graph using the intercepts, Math Excel will count it wrong. So, to find the x-intercept, you set y equals 0. So you would make it 3x plus 2 times 0 equals 6. 2 times 0 is 0. 3x plus 0 is still 3x. So that goes away. You get 3x equals 6. So x is 2. Put a dot on 2 on the y line. X line, sorry, on the x, right there. Then divide the y-intercept, let x equal to 0. So we have 3 times 0 plus 2y equals 6. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 2y is just 2y. The 3 times 0 goes away. 2y equals 6, so y equals 3. Put a dot on the 3. And use a ruler and connect your 2 points. Although if you're doing it in Math Excel, you don't need a ruler. So that's pretty simple. Just make the x 0 to find the y and the y 0 to make the x. Now we'll get into the final part, the parallel and perpendicular lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposites, so one will be positive, one will be negative, and reciprocals, so you'll flip the fraction. So if you have negative 2/5, the opposite reciprocal is going to be positive 5/2. Those are opposite reciprocals. Now, we're going to write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line that passes through the point 1, negative 3. So that's your x1, y1. And is parallel to y equals 6x minus 2. So the only thing important about y equals 6x minus 2 is the 6. Cross the rest of that off. So your slope of the original line is 6. That means your new slope is 6 because we're looking for parallel lines. Then you can just plug in your slope and your x1 and y1 into point slope form. You'll get y minus negative 3 equals 6 parentheses x minus 1. We got a double negative that we need to simplify. So we get y plus 3 equals 6 parentheses x minus 1. And that right there is the point slope form of the line. To simplify it down to slope intercept form, we're going to distribute that 6 and get y plus 3 equals 6x minus 6. Then subtract 3 from both sides, and you get y equals 6x minus 9. And it's just as simple as that. Perpendicular lines are the same thing, except you have to count those opposite reciprocals in there. So on this particular problem, it asks what is the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line that passes through the point 8, 5. There's your x1, y1, and is perpendicular to y equals negative 4x plus 8. Negative 4 is the slope of the line, of the original line. The opposite reciprocal of negative 4 is 1/4, positive. So that's your m and your x1, y1. So we just plug those numbers in. Y minus 5 equals 1/4 x minus 8. There's your point slope version of the line. Then you distribute that 1/4. You get y minus 5 equals 1/4 x minus 2. Add 5 to both sides, and you get y equals 1/4 x plus 3. And there's your slope-intercept form of the line. All right, kids, that's all your notes for today. Good luck on your homework. I'll be back tomorrow.